Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question today. A question that might sting a little, but one that must be asked. Why is it that no one respects you? Now, I know that's a hard thing to hear, but the truth often is. And if you don't face the truth, you can never change your reality. You see, respect is not something you demand, it's something you earn. It's the byproduct of how you live your life, how you carry yourself, and the standards you set for yourself. Let me be very clear, respect begins with you. If you don't respect yourself, no one will. Some of you allow others to walk all over you, to talk down to you, to treat you like you're insignificant. But here's the harsh truth: people treat you the way you teach them to treat you. If you don't value your own worth, how can you expect someone else to? Respect is built on integrity. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Are you a person of your word? Do you show up for yourself, for others? Consistency builds trust, and trust builds respect. If you're inconsistent, people don't know who you really are. And let me tell you, people don't respect what they can't trust. Another critical factor is boundaries. Some of you don't have any. And when there are no boundaries, there is no respect. You've got to learn how to say no. You've got to learn how to draw a line in the sand and say, this is what I stand for, and I won't allow anyone to cross this line. Because let me tell you, when people know you don't stand for anything, they'll treat you any kind of way. Respect also comes from confidence. Now, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about a quiet assurance that you know who you are. If you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? You've got to walk into every room, every conversation, every opportunity like you belong there. If you shrink in your presence, people will see you as small. But here's another truth: respect is a two-way street. If you're not showing respect to others, if you're quick to judge, quick to dismiss, quick to belittle, don't be surprised when that same disrespect comes back to you. You see, people watch how you treat others. They're not just listening to what you say about yourself, they're watching how you behave. Respect begets respect. And finally, let me tell you, people respect value. What are you bringing to the table? If you're just taking from others, just consuming and never contributing, then respect will always evade you. You have to add value to the lives of those around you, whether that's in your workplace, your relationships, or your community. People respect those who make a difference. So I ask you again, why is it that no one respects you? It's time to stop blaming others and start looking within. Respect isn't something you wait for. It's something you actively cultivate. Start with yourself. Align your actions with your words. Set boundaries, show respect to others, and contribute your value to the world. When you do that, respect will not just come to you, it will follow you. Respect begins within. It's a concept that many people overlook, thinking that respect is something to be given by others. But here's the truth: no one will respect you if you don't respect yourself first. Everything starts from within, and self-respect is the foundation upon which all other forms of respect are built. The way you perceive yourself sets the tone for how others perceive and treat you. If you constantly doubt yourself, question your worth, or fail to uphold your own standards, you are sending out signals to the world that you are not deserving of respect. People observe how you treat yourself, and from that, they learn how to treat you. Self-respect is about recognizing your inherent value and understanding that your worth is not determined by external factors, by how others see you, by your job title, or by your achievements. It's about having a solid, unshakable sense of who you are and what you stand for. It's knowing that you deserve to be treated with dignity and care, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And when you believe this, you start to act in ways that reinforce this belief. It's not just about telling yourself that you respect yourself, it's about acting in alignment with that respect. This means setting standards for how you allow others to treat you. If you allow people to belittle you, take advantage of you, or disregard your feelings, you are essentially giving them permission to disrespect you. Self-respect means setting boundaries that are non-negotiable. These boundaries tell people that you are someone who values yourself. They'll push to see how much you'll bend, how much you'll allow. And if you don't hold firm, if you allow others to walk all over you, they will. Respect is earned not through demanding it, but through demonstrating that you won't settle for less. You show people how to treat you by what you tolerate, by what you allow. If you make it clear that you respect yourself too much to be disrespected, others will take notice. They'll see that you are someone of worth, someone who isn't afraid to stand up for themselves. Self-respect is also reflected in how you carry yourself. Your posture, your tone of voice, and your general demeanor all communicate something about how you feel about yourself. If you walk around with your head down, unsure of yourself, others will sense that. Confidence and self-respect go hand in hand. When you respect yourself, you carry yourself with a quiet confidence that speaks volumes. You don't need to boast or brag because your actions and presence do the talking. People can sense when someone respects themselves, and it naturally commands respect from others. Another key element of self-respect is how you spend your time and who you spend it with. The company you keep says a lot about how much you respect yourself. If you surround yourself with people who bring you down, who don't value you, or who don't support your growth, you're not showing yourself the respect you deserve. Respecting yourself means choosing relationships and environments that uplift and inspire you. It means saying no to things and people that drain your energy or diminish your worth. It means knowing that your time and attention are valuable and should be spent wisely. Self-respect also involves taking care of your well-being physically, mentally, and emotionally. If you neglect your health, if you allow yourself to be overworked or overstressed, you are not respecting yourself. You're not valuing the vessel that carries you through life. Self-respect means prioritizing your health and making sure you are in the best possible condition to live a fulfilling life. It means knowing when to rest, when to push forward, and when to take a step back. It's about honoring yourself by making choices that reflect your value. When you respect yourself, you don't need validation from others. You don't need approval or praise because your self-worth is not dependent on external opinions. You are secure in who you are. And that security is what draws respect from others. People respect those who are grounded in themselves, those who don't need constant reassurance. They see that you are someone who knows their worth, and in turn, they respond by treating you with the respect you have earned. In the end, respect from others is a reflection of the respect you have for yourself. It's not something you can force or demand. It's something that naturally flows when you live in alignment with your values, when you treat yourself with care, and when you uphold your boundaries. Integrity and consistency are the foundations of respect. They are not just values you declare, but principles you live by. To be respected, people need to know who you are and what you stand for. And they can only discover that through your consistent actions over time. Integrity is about honesty, truthfulness, and living by a moral code that others can depend on. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. But it doesn't stop there. Integrity requires consistency. It is not enough to act with integrity once or twice. You must do it repeatedly for it to become part of your character. When someone lives with integrity, they are seen as reliable and trustworthy. People can count on them because they know they will follow through on what they say. Integrity creates a sense of security in relationships because it shows others that you are grounded in truth. It means that your words and actions align. When you promise to do something, you do it. When you claim to stand for certain values, your life reflects those values. People who act with integrity are transparent. They don't hide their motives, and they don't need to, because their intentions are always good. They are not swayed by convenience or by the opinions of others. Instead, they are guided by an inner compass that always points them towards honesty and fairness. Consistency is equally critical. It's one thing to have a moment of integrity, but consistency shows that integrity is not just a fleeting decision or a temporary stance, it's a way of life. Consistency builds trust. When you behave the same way over time, people know what to expect from you. They can predict how you will act in any given situation, and that predictability fosters trust and ultimately respect. Inconsistent people, on the other hand, are unpredictable. One day they may act with integrity and the next they may not. This inconsistency causes people to question their motives and reliability. When people don't know which version of you they will get, they cannot fully trust you, and without trust, respect crumbles. Consistency is what turns good intentions into a good reputation. It is through consistency that your integrity becomes visible to the world. No one builds respect in a single moment or with a single act. It's the accumulation of many small moments, many decisions made in alignment with your values that create a lasting impact. People who live with integrity and consistency don't need to demand respect because it is naturally given to them. Their behavior speaks for itself. Over time, others come to understand that this person is someone who can be trusted, someone who stands firm in their values, someone who is reliable. This is why consistency is often more important than a single grand gesture or a single act of honesty, because respect is built over time, not granted in an instant. People who lack consistency often find themselves struggling to gain or maintain respect. They may be viewed as flaky or unreliable, even if they occasionally show integrity. The issue is that their moments of integrity are not enough to overshadow their moments of inconsistency. This back and forth behavior makes it difficult for others to know who they really are, and as a result, people become hesitant to trust or respect them. It's not enough to be honest in one situation and dishonest in another. Consistency means that your actions are steady, that no matter the circumstances, you remain true to your values. When people see that you act with the same level of integrity regardless of the situation, they begin to see you as dependable, and dependability is key to earning respect. When you live with both integrity and consistency, you are able to build relationships on a foundation of trust. People come to know you as someone who is not swayed by external pressures, someone who doesn't bend to the whims of the moment, but instead stands firm in what is right. This kind of reputation takes time to build, but it is invaluable. Once others trust you, once they see that your actions match your words day in and day out, they will respect you without question. They know you are someone who will not compromise on your principles, someone who will stand by what is right even when it is difficult, and someone who can be relied upon. In many ways, integrity and consistency go hand in hand. One without the other is incomplete. Integrity without consistency is like building a house with no foundation. It may look good from the outside, but it won't last. And consistency without integrity is like walking in circles. You may be steady, but you're not going anywhere meaningful. It is the combination of these two values that leads to true respect. People will respect you not because you are perfect, but because you are dependable, trustworthy, and grounded in your principles. Respect is something many people desire, but few truly understand the foundation on which it's built. One of the most fundamental truths about respect is that it begins with self-respect. It's impossible to expect others to value or honor you when you don't first recognize and honor your own worth. The way you carry yourself, the way you think about yourself, and the standards you set all communicate to the world how you want to be treated. When you fail to respect yourself, you send a message to others that it's acceptable to overlook or mistreat you. If you don't care enough about your own dignity, why should anyone else? This is where it starts. People pick up on how you see yourself, and they respond accordingly. The world mirrors your own attitude towards yourself, and if you allow disrespect from within, disrespect from others soon follows. Self-respect isn't about arrogance or self-centeredness. It's about understanding your own value and ensuring that you live up to that value. It's about setting boundaries for yourself, not letting people treat you in ways that undermine your sense of self-worth. It involves being firm in your beliefs and not wavering on your principles, even when it might be easier to go along with others' opinions or desires. A lack of self-respect can manifest in many ways, and one of the clearest indicators is inconsistency in one's actions and words. People who are inconsistent are often seen as unreliable or untrustworthy. Think about it when someone says they'll do something and then doesn't follow through, or when their actions don't align with their words. How does that affect your opinion of them? It's hard to respect someone who you can't depend on, someone whose words mean nothing because they change with the wind. Consistency, on the other hand, builds a foundation of trust, and trust is one of the cornerstones of respect. When you are consistent in your actions, when people know they can rely on you to follow through, you demonstrate integrity. Integrity is the alignment of words and actions. It's showing up the same way in every situation, regardless of who's watching. People respect consistency because it shows that you are stable, dependable, and grounded in your principles. You become someone others can count on. But even with self-respect and consistency, if you don't establish clear boundaries, respect will still be elusive. Boundaries are essential because they communicate to others what is and isn't acceptable. Without them, people will walk all over you, not necessarily because they intend to, but because they don't know where the line is drawn. If you allow others to take advantage of you or treat you poorly without consequence, you teach them that it's okay to continue. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being confrontational. They are about protecting your peace, your time, and your energy. When you establish clear boundaries, you are showing others that you respect yourself enough not to tolerate anything less than what aligns with your values. It's a powerful way to command respect because people learn quickly what you will and won't accept. Creating boundaries also means being assertive when those boundaries are crossed. Many people fear assertiveness, mistaking it for aggression. But being assertive simply means standing up for yourself in a way that is firm yet respectful. It's expressing your needs and expectations clearly without being passive or aggressive. When you fail to assert your boundaries, you invite disrespect. Others may not even realize they are overstepping because you haven't communicated where the line is. Being passive or accommodating in the face of disrespect only perpetuates the problem. However, when you assert yourself, you make it clear that you respect yourself and that you expect others to do the same. People respect those who are confident enough to stand up for themselves, but who do so with grace and dignity. You contribute. Respect is not something that is simply given, it must be earned. And one of the primary ways to earn it is by adding value to the lives of those around you. This doesn't necessarily mean grand gestures or impressive achievements, but rather the everyday contributions you make to your relationships, your work, and your community. People respect those who give more than they take. They respect individuals who offer support, advice, wisdom, or even a helping hand when needed. If you only take from others, whether it be their time, energy, or resources, without giving anything in return, you diminish their respect for you. Contributing value means recognizing that respect is reciprocal. You have to show up for others, just as you expect them to show up for you. It's about making a positive impact, however small, and leaving things better than you found them. Respect is a two-way street, and one of the fundamental principles of earning it is recognizing the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are essential because they define how we allow others to treat us in what we consider acceptable behavior. Without boundaries, people will often push limits, knowingly or unknowingly, and that can lead to a lack of respect. When you don't establish clear lines about what you will and will not tolerate, you give others the impression that they can treat you however they please. And once people sense that there are no consequences for crossing certain lines, respect diminishes. Boundaries are not just about setting limits for others, they are about defining your own self-worth. If you don't respect your time, your energy, or your emotional space, why should anyone else? For example, if you consistently allow people to interrupt you, ignore your feelings, or take advantage of your generosity, they will see those behaviors as permissible. Over time, this leads to a pattern where you are always the one bending, while others continue to take advantage. Establishing boundaries means you value yourself enough to protect your well-being, and when others see that you have standards, they begin to respect them as well. The challenge many people face when it comes to boundaries is the fear of confrontation or being perceived as difficult. It's common to avoid saying no or pushing back because of a desire to maintain harmony or avoid conflict. However, this reluctance can be more damaging in the long run. When you allow people to overstep, even if it's to avoid a disagreement, you teach them that it's acceptable to treat you in ways that may harm you. And when people don't see pushback, they assume that their actions are acceptable. Over time, this erodes respect because you've shown that your boundaries are flexible or non-existent. It's important to understand that setting boundaries doesn't have to be confrontational or aggressive. In fact, boundaries can be communicated with clarity and kindness. When someone steps over the line, it's possible to assertively yet politely correct the behavior. This might involve calmly stating that a certain behavior isn't acceptable or explaining why a particular action crosses a boundary for you. The key is consistency. If you waver in upholding your boundaries, people will notice, and that's when respect begins to slip away. Respect is often tied to predictability. When others know where your limits are and they see you standing by them, they develop a respect for you as someone who knows their own value. Setting boundaries also fosters mutual respect because it encourages others to reflect on their own behavior. When you assert yourself, people are forced to reconsider how they treat you. Often they will adjust their actions accordingly, which can improve the overall dynamic of a relationship. People tend to respect those who have the confidence to stand up for themselves. In contrast, those who allow their boundaries to be trampled on are often seen as weak or passive, which can lead to a further lack of respect. A lack of boundaries can also affect your own self-esteem. When you repeatedly allow others to cross lines that you know are important to you, it can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even self-loathing. You begin to internalize the idea that your needs and feelings are secondary to others, which can erode your sense of self-worth. This in turn makes it even harder to command respect because you're not demonstrating that you value yourself. People often take cues from how you treat yourself. If you don't prioritize your own well-being, they are unlikely to do so either. Another aspect of boundaries is recognizing when to let go of relationships that consistently violate them. Some people, despite your best efforts to assert your boundaries, will continue to disrespect you. In these cases, it may be necessary to distance yourself or end the relationship altogether. Continuing to allow disrespectful behavior only reinforces that it's acceptable, and over time you lose the respect not just of the person involved but of others who witness the situation. Sometimes maintaining respect means knowing when to walk away. In professional settings, boundaries are especially important. Whether it's setting limits on your time or clearly defining your role and responsibilities, maintaining boundaries in the workplace is crucial for gaining respect. Colleagues and superiors alike will respect you more if you assertively manage your time and workload. On the other hand, if you're constantly saying yes to every request, even when it overburdens you, people will begin to take advantage of your willingness, and respect can quickly fade. Personal relationships are no different. Boundaries are vital in friendships, romantic partnerships, and even family dynamics. Without them, people may unintentionally or intentionally take advantage of your kindness, generosity, or availability. Clear boundaries protect the relationship from becoming one-sided, where one person is always giving and the other is always taking. When boundaries are respected, both parties feel valued and appreciated, which strengthens mutual respect. In the end, boundaries are about defining who you are and what you stand for. They are a declaration of your self-respect and an invitation for others to treat you accordingly. Respect is strongly tied to confidence. People who respect themselves naturally command respect from others. People who are confident in themselves and assertive in their communication tend to gain respect from others more naturally. Confidence doesn't mean being arrogant or boastful. It's about having a firm belief in your own abilities, your values, and your worth. When you carry yourself with confidence, you send a message to the world that you know who you are and what you stand for, and people tend to respect that kind of certainty. This confidence allows you to approach situations with calmness and poise, making others more inclined to listen to what you have to say and take you seriously. On the other hand, a lack of confidence can undermine your ability to earn respect. When people see that you are unsure of yourself, they may begin to question your capabilities. It's easy for others to overlook or dismiss someone who doesn't appear to have faith in themselves. A person who is always second-guessing their decisions, afraid to speak up, or unwilling to take a stand is likely to be perceived as weak or indecisive. People are naturally drawn to strength and conviction, and confidence exudes both of these qualities. Without it, others may either ignore you or, worse, take advantage of your lack of self-assurance. Being assertive is equally important in earning respect. Assertiveness is the ability to express your thoughts, feelings, and needs in a direct, honest, and respectful way. It's about standing up for yourself without being aggressive or domineering. When you are assertive, you communicate clearly and set boundaries with others, making it clear how you expect to be treated. This is essential for earning respect because people tend to respect those who can communicate their needs and limits in a calm, confident manner. Assertiveness also involves knowing how to handle conflict or disagreement. It's easy to avoid conflict and stay silent, but this often leads to a lack of respect. When people don't speak up, they send the message that their thoughts and feelings don't matter, or that they're afraid of confrontation. Over time, this behavior can lead to others disregarding their opinions altogether. Assertive people, however, are not afraid to express their opinions or disagree with others. They do so in a way that is respectful but firm, making it clear that their views are important and deserve consideration. Respect often follows those who are not only confident in their abilities, but who also have the courage to stand up for what they believe in. Assertive individuals are able to set boundaries and protect their own interests without alienating others. This balance is crucial. Because while people may fear or avoid someone who is overly aggressive, they often admire and respect someone who can assert themselves while still being respectful to others. A lack of assertiveness can lead to a host of problems that erode respect. People who are passive and allow others to make decisions for them, or who never express their own needs, tend to be taken for granted. Others may view them as pushovers, people who can be easily manipulated or ignored. In contrast, assertive individuals gain respect because they show that they value themselves enough to demand fair treatment. This doesn't mean they are demanding or difficult to work with. It means they expect to be treated with the same respect and consideration they show to others. Furthermore, confidence and assertiveness help people navigate social and professional situations with greater ease. In a work environment, for example, those who are confident and assertive tend to be more effective leaders. They are able to motivate others, handle difficult conversations, and make decisions with certainty. Their colleagues and subordinates are more likely to respect them because they know that these individuals can be trusted to handle challenges and lead with authority. Similarly, in personal relationships, assertiveness ensures that both parties' needs are respected. People who lack assertiveness often find themselves in situations where their needs are neglected, leading to resentment and dissatisfaction. On the other hand, assertive people communicate their needs and desires clearly, fostering mutual respect and understanding in their relationships. Ultimately, confidence and assertiveness go hand in hand in building respect. Confidence allows you to believe in yourself and your abilities, while assertiveness ensures that you communicate your worth and set appropriate boundaries with others. Without these qualities, it's easy to be overlooked or taken advantage of. But when you cultivate both, you project an image of strength, reliability, and self-respect, qualities that naturally inspire respect from others. Respect is not something that you can simply ask for or demand from others. It's a quality that is earned over time through your actions, your character, and the way you carry yourself in life. Many people struggle with why they feel disrespected by others, but the truth is that respect often reflects how you view yourself. If you don't respect yourself, it's difficult for others to show you the same. The first place to look when questioning why no one respects you is inward. Ask yourself, how do you treat yourself? Do you hold yourself to a standard of integrity, or do you allow yourself to be mistreated? People observe the way you carry yourself, and if you're constantly doubting your own worth, those around you will start to do the same. One of the fundamental pillars of respect is integrity. Integrity is about more than just honesty. It's about being a person of your word, living a life where your actions consistently align with your beliefs and values. If you say you're going to do something, do you follow through? Or are your words empty and people find that they cannot rely on you? People lose respect when they can't trust you. It's not enough to talk about being a certain kind of person. You have to demonstrate it through your actions, day in and day out. Consistency builds trust, and trust is what fosters respect. If people see that you waver depending on circumstances, that you change who you are to fit the situation, or that you can't be relied upon, they will never give you the respect you seek. A major reason people don't feel respected is because they fail to set boundaries in their lives. Boundaries are essential because they signal to others what is and is not acceptable. When you lack boundaries, you open the door for people to walk all over you. If you allow others to speak to you in a way that diminishes you or let them take advantage of your time and energy, you're essentially teaching them that it's okay to disrespect you. Boundaries are not about being unkind or distant. They're about showing people how you expect to be treated. Without boundaries, there is no structure in relationships, and people will inevitably cross lines they shouldn't. Learning to say no when necessary and standing firm in your decisions is crucial in building respect from others. People respect strength, and strength often looks like being able to protect your own dignity and peace. Another vital factor in earning respect is confidence. Confidence isn't about arrogance or thinking you're better than others, but it is about understanding your worth and walking through life with the assurance that you deserve to be treated well. Confidence speaks without words. It's in the way you enter a room, the way you handle challenges, and the way you communicate with others. If you're constantly second-guessing yourself or afraid to take up space, people will perceive you as someone who doesn't believe in their own value. And if you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? Confidence is not something that is given to you. It's something you cultivate from within. The more you know who you are, the more comfortable you become in asserting yourself, and the more respect you will naturally command. Many people want respect, but they fail to give it to others. They may look down on people who they perceive to be beneath them, or treat people with disregard when they feel superior. But respect is a two-way street. If you don't respect others, no matter their position or status, don't be surprised when respect doesn't come your way. People pay attention to how you treat everyone, not just those you want to impress. If you're quick to judge, to belittle, or to dismiss others, that energy will come back to you. Respect is a reflection of how you navigate your relationships. When you show genuine respect to others, regardless of who they are, it sets a tone for how people will respond to you. Lastly, respect is tied to the value you bring into the world. If you're always focused on yourself, if you're always taking and never giving, people will find it difficult to respect you. Those who make an impact, who contribute something meaningful, whether it's through their work, their relationships, or their community, are the ones who earn respect. It's not about grand gestures or being in the spotlight. It's about consistently adding value wherever you go. When people know that your presence means something positive, they will respect you because they understand you're not just there for yourself, but you're making a difference in the lives of others. Respect is earned by aligning your life with these principles. It starts with self-respect, is built on integrity, reinforced by boundaries, strengthened through confidence, shared in mutual respect, and solidified by the value you bring. When you embody these traits, respect is not something you have to chase, it will naturally follow you.